Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. This is your host, Michael Weaver, and today we're going to be talking about how to build a sales team. All right. So, if you are new to the Insurance Buzz, make sure that you subscribe. If you like this episode, if you like what you hear, make sure you go in, give us a 5-star review, and tell others about the Insurance Buzz. All right, so let's get started. How to build a sales team. How this topic got brought about. I was talking to an agent or getting ready to be a newly appointed agent and start their agency the other day. And they're like, Michael, how do you even go about building a sales team? I'm a new business owner. I don't even, I've got everything on my mind. What do I even do here? All right. And so that's why I wanted to address this on this episode of The Buzz. So I think first and foremost, you really have to have a vision of what you want your sales team to look like. Okay? And what I mean by look like is, what are the roles? Are they sales only? Are they a hybrid, so sales service? Maybe you go with a captain model to where they're in charge of a certain product line. And so that's really the first step that I'm going to encourage you to look at before you ever start recruiting, before you ever start hiring. You really have to understand, what am I looking for? What is the exact job description? What is the duty? Okay, so you need to jot this down. Remember, okay, when thinking about sales, simple. Simplicity sells in everything you do in life and business ownership. And so the more simplistic you can make someone's job descriptions and duties, the more intentional they will be with performing, the better they're going to do. If they have a very clear picture on exactly what is expected, they're going to perform. But to be able to do that, and to be able to really figure out who's the ideal person for this role, number one, what does the role even look like? All right, so what does the role even look like? So, is it a sales only role? And if so, what does that job description and duties, so what are the expectations they're going to be responsible for? What does that look like? If it's a hybrid model to where it's a sales service role, again, what are the job duties and expectations? What's going to be expected of them? And if it's that captain model that I kind of brought up, what is their job duty description going to be? What product line are they going to be in charge of? How are they expected to drive that product line? Are they responsible for any other products in the office? So I think that's really the first step of, hey, what do these roles look like? And then the vision of who fits that role. Okay, the vision of who fits that role. And I'll get into at the very end kind of what I look for in salespeople, but really forming the role and then who is the ideal person for that role. I think that's really important. So many business owners, including myself, back very early on in my career, I would almost hire because out of necessity versus actually taking the time to figure out exactly who I'm looking for, what those job descriptions and duties. And so if you're listening to this right now and you're currently doing that, you're currently just hiring to fill chairs, put butts in seats, I would recommend not to do that. Take a step back, take a pause, really take a approach of, what am I looking for? What is the exact role? So I can set this new team member up for success from the very beginning. The second thing I would talk about or have you think about, and this kind of goes into the vision of what I just talked about, but are you going to have sales starters that help them? Maybe you have a sales starter team and then you have a closing team. Or maybe your sales people, your sales team is responsible for sales from not only starting the conversation, but also closing the conversation. So start to finish. So you also have to think about that. Are you looking at sales starters? Are you expecting your salespeople just to be closers? Or do you want them to be able to do and have the conversation from start to finish where they're responsible for the marketing, getting someone on the phone, getting them interested in a quote, presenting and closing, and then closing out that deal? And then are they responsible for any service work after that? Okay, these are all things you really have to think about. Now, personally, I always ran a hybrid model, and my salespeople were responsible for sales from start to finish. Now, I would hire some part-time, what I would call marketers, so cold callers, to come in and help get quotes. But I wouldn't have them necessarily I tried to have them get the information. And I saw that the closing ratios on that just were not great, not as good or even close to being as good as when I could just have the salesperson from start to finish. And so what I did is I had a sales starter, get them on the phone, and then live transfer to the sales team. Now, if the sales team is full, obviously you still get the quote information. But the big piece here is that I'll tell you, and one of the biggest tips I'll give you here is if you're gonna run that model, your salesperson still has to build rapport, okay, with the prospect. So even if you have a sales starter that gathers all the information for the closer, your closer needs to have the ability to build rapport with that individual. Because if not, they have no commonalities. They haven't established any know-like trust. And so that right there is a really critical piece in the process that you'll have to work through if you have that like sales starter closer model. Okay. So just again, this is all based off of previous experience. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is your agency. This is your business. This is your sales organization. So if you want sales starters and closers, bam, do it. If you want your sales team doing it from start to finish, do it. If you want to go the captain mode, do it. If you want hybrid model, do it. Who cares what Johnny down the road's doing? This is your business. This is your vision. This is your model. All right? Now, you also need to think about with the sales team, where are you at now? Where do you want to go? And how do you want to get there? Okay, so where are you at now? Where do you want to go? And how are you going to get there? And another thing that just came up that I want to talk about is look, guys, I literally just got off the phone with an agent that I'm going to, he's going to be coming to the Weaver Sales Academy event in October in Kansas City. And it was awesome. He has this mindset of small but mighty, even though he's got one of the biggest agencies in the country. I mean, he has 3 sales professionals in his office, and they do like 250 to 300 policies a month every single month. And so it goes also to this model of quantity versus quality. If you could have 10 salespeople, but they all do 30 policies a month, okay, so 300 policies a month with 10 sales staff. Or if you could have 4 sales staff that did 300 policies, which one would you rather have? Which one would you rather do? And again, there's no right or wrong to this, all right? Because it's your sales organization, all right? So you can have a huge staff that's going to guarantee the production, that's going to guarantee. Now, obviously, with a bigger staff comes increased payroll and things of that nature, but you're investing into your business long term. And the best thing about this is you're investing into people, which I think is the number one way to grow your agency is investing in your people, investing in your staff. Like, not only like just to show up and work, but developing, coaching, things of that nature, making them the best they can be. But investing in your people is better than any marketing dollar you will ever spend. All right? Investing in your people, investing in your team is better than any marketing dollar you will ever spend. So I just wanted to touch base on that too, because I think a lot of folks out there and younger agents I talk to, they think that you got to have like these huge teams to produce these big numbers. Maybe, but maybe not. maybe you don't, because there's lots of agencies out there that don't have 10, 15, 20 people on staff. They have 5, 10, they have 2, 3, 4 salespeople, and they're still knocking it out of the park. And so it's really what you want to do, the processes and systems that you implement, the rock stars that you're hiring, making sure that you're just not hiring people to fill the chair, to put a butt in the seat, but actually, do they fit your vision? Can they come in and be a rock star? Okay? So, and look, regardless if you want a small team or a big team, it doesn't matter. Again, this is your agency. There's multiple ways to do this. All right. So, personality tests. I think these are really good ones that you can use. So, part of it is having a clear vision on what you're looking for, job descriptions, duties, what their expected role is going to be, and clearly communicating this. But making sure that you get the right person, okay, the right person that fits in your culture, in your agency, and can do what you expect them to do, can come in and perform. And so a lot of people out there will use personality test. Like, I don't think there's a better personality test out there than the other. You've got a lot of personality tests out there. You've got the DISC profile. You've got the CTS profile, a free one, 16personalities.com. Okay. Now, these are more personality tests. Some of these are going to be sales specific personality tests. Look, at the end of the day, I do think that you need to run some type of personality test on someone before you hire them, regardless if it's a sales personality or just a personality, because you want to make sure that they're going to mesh well with your culture. Also, by understanding their personality, it's going to allow you to be a better leader and coach. Okay, so there's a lot of really good things that come from investing in upfront before you give someone a hire to make sure they're the right fit. It's not necessarily what this call is about or what this episode is about, but I do believe that you do need to do your due diligence up front and stick them through some type of personality test before offering them the position. All right. Now, again, I'll also say this, that your gut, that gut instinct that you get, a personality test will tell you one thing, and especially these sales personality tests, they're really narrowed down and niched down to tell you, hey, they're looking for the best of the best, okay? So you may put 100 people through a personality test, but only one person comes back is like, yeah, they might be good. They've got a lot of the right characteristics. But here's the thing. What does your gut tell you in the interview? Because at the end of the day, I don't care what a test told me when I hire salespeople or really anyone on my team. If I get this gut feeling of, nah, it just ain't gonna work in my culture, my team, I don't care if the test says 100%. They're gonna be a rock star. They're gonna be the next best agent in the world. You can go be an agent or team member somewhere else, but you ain't coming in my culture and ruining it. So, really going with a gut instinct of, does this person fit? Like, regardless of what the personality test says, is this person going to fit within my culture? Is this person going to be a team player? Is this person going to fit in my organization? Okay? So do not forget to go off of your innate abilities to read people. That's what you do for a living. You're in sales. You read people for a living. Fun. Is your culture fun? Look, fun and winning attracts talent. Culture attracts talent. If your culture is built on having fun, if your culture is built on winning, you're going to attract winners. Winners attract winners. Fun cultures, fun environments, you're automatically going to attract people to that environment. Kind of goes back to an episode that Courtney and I did probably 20, 30 episodes ago around, hey, you're trying to recruit people and attract people, but are you actually attractive? Are you actually attractive? And so that's another thing. When thinking of a sales team, what do you want that sales culture to be like? What do you want it to be like? So really, again, this is really high level, working on the business versus in the business. Visionary, getting it on paper. Who is your ideal person? But this is really, really important. This is really, really important. All right. Then obviously, so once you figure out the right person that you're looking for, okay, and you've got some personality tests that you can give them, well, you got to be recruiting. You got to be recruiting. That's the only way you're going to build a sales staff is if you recruit. Now, I personally think the best way to recruit is just like the best customer. Who's your best customer? A referral. Who's going to be your best employee? A referral. So if you guys, if you right now, if you're looking to hire and you're not on you haven't blasted it on social media, if you're not telling your customers about it, literally, y'all talk to so many customers a day. At the end of every conversation, after you get done with your pivots and making sure your customers are taken care of from an insurance and financial services standpoint, I'd literally be like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we're looking to grow. We're looking to hire folks within the community. If you know of anyone that you think would be a good fit for our agency and in this business and be willing to help out the community, please send them my way because I would love to have a conversation. I would be doing that with every single customer. If you're looking to hire, put out there that you're hiring. Tell people that you're hiring. People love to help people. Look, if y'all just did that, that is the best recruiting process you could have. Tell people that you're hiring all the time. You're always hiring. You're always recruiting. You're always looking for good people. One of the best things you can do is do that. Implement that right now. If you're looking to hire, implement that into your daily process, all right? Really easy. Hey, team, each of you are responsible for pivoting to one customer a day, telling them we're hiring, all right? If you have a team of 4 people, that means you're telling 4 customers a day that you're hiring. That's automatically going to get some buzz going. And guess what? Your customers love to see your success. They love to hear that the agency is growing. Because what does that mean? That means the agency is not going anywhere. Look, we live in a world where 90% of small businesses fail. They like to see you doing well. They like to see you succeed. They like to see you having fun. They like to see you winning. But you got to tell people that you're looking for people. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So you got to be recruiting. Some of my favorite things to recruit, all right? Enterprise, all right? Rental car places. But my favorite's Enterprise. If you drive by Enterprise one day, swing by, act like you're interested in a rental car. See what your experience is like. If you happen to stumble across a rock star of a salesperson that's great at communication, lights you up, you're like, man, you're good. Guess what? I'd be pitching the opportunity. Rental car people have terrible hours. Most of them don't get paid that well. They're working weekends. They're working nights. Ideal. Okay? Restaurants. Again, if you go out to a restaurant, you have great service. You're like, man, I could really see this person possibly being part of my team. Don't just give them a card. Like, have a conversation. Like, hey, what do you like about what you do? If you could have better hours and make more money, would that be something you'd be interested in? If you could change people's lives, would that be something you'd be interested in? Restaurants. Verizon. All right? Verizon. Go by Verizon. Act like you're again, just like you're going to go to a rental car place and act like you're interested in a car, walk in a Verizon. Act like you're interested in a phone, that you're interested in changing plans. See what your experience is like. Might be able to find some good people in Verizon. Verizon also really great at transactional selling. All right. Also, I'll say teachers. Teachers are really good. Teachers are what? Educators. Teachers are educators. Teachers are organized. Teachers are good at communication. Teachers are reliable and dependable. So right there's 4 really, really good places to start recruiting if you're going to recruit on your own. All right, sales staff, you better be training. You better call. You better email me right now, Weaver Sales Academy. Let's get this going. So we have a training platform that my team can walk into and just train every single day. You know, I had to do that. I had to pitch Weaver Sales Academy a little bit. I can't talk about training and not bring it up, but consistent training. Folks are looking for employers. They're looking for businesses. They're looking for leaders that care about them, that they can grow, that they can develop, that they just don't come to a job, a 9 to 5, and not feel productive, not feel like they're doing anything. Because what does that cause? That causes burnout. When you're not growing, when you're not developing, when you're not winning, when you're not feeling productive, you are going to experience burnout. You're going to experience burnout. And so you constantly have to be training, getting better. Okay, so that is a key to building a sales team. That is key. Coaching, training, developing needs to be the focus point of that culture. Moving the needle, getting 1% better every single day. Because if you're getting better, you're helping customers get better. All right, so yeah, that has to be part of a sales culture and part of a sales team, in my opinion. Speaking of development, one easy thing to do this is monthly reads. All right, what is your team doing to grow and develop? Easy. You can buy a book. You could listen to one on Audible, have a team read every month. But when looking at sales staff, okay, when looking at team for my organization, I'm going to ask them in the interview, what do you do to develop yourself? When's the last time you read a book? What kind of podcast you listening to on the daily? What do you do to take care of your physical being, your mental, emotional, spiritual? Like what are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing to develop and grow? That's really important to me because I'm looking for folks that are always wanting to get better, especially when it comes to sales. Because sales is not easy. Okay, sales is hard. So what are you doing to get better? What are you doing to motivate yourself? What are you doing to make sure that 5 years from now, you're not the same person you are today? I want to know that. That's important in my culture. That's important when building a team. That's important when building a sales team. I want a sales team that's focused on growth. I want a sales team that's focused on being the freaking best. I want a sales team that they're looking to take not only their lives, but their career to the next level. Okay? Woo, we getting buzzed on the buzz today, my friends. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Expectations are everything. Expectations are everything. With your sales team, all right, so think about human nature. If you tell your sales person, hey, you're responsible for producing 40 policies a month. Most people are going to do what? They're going to produce 39 or 41. 39 or 41. So expectations are everything. Expectations are everything. So make sure that, hey, if you want a sales team doing 200 policies a month, you better have the expectation set forth that your sales team accomplishes 200 policies a month. Now, here's the thing. Is yes, expectations are everything, but you also have to teach them how to get there. You got to teach them how to win. I always said, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to win. I'm gonna show you how to win, and then I'm going to expect you to win. Okay, so yes, expectations are everything because of the human nature. Okay, the psychology of humans. Okay, you got to take that into account here. But you as the leader have to have processes and systems in place that teach people how to win. What does it take to write 50 policies a month? What does it take to write 60? What does it take to be in the Centric Club, baby, writing 100 policies a month? What does it take? What does it take? Show them. They want to make $100,000 a year. Show them how to do that on your compensation plan. Whoo! Lastly, it also goes back to training. Like I touched on, it goes back to training, always getting better. The last thing I want to touch base on here is what I look for. What I look for in sales team, what I look for in just team in general, what I look for in my organization. All right, and I've already hit on a few of these things. The first thing I'll tell you before I get into any certain characteristics is, number one, can I be around this person? If you are going to be around this person 8, 10, 12 hours a day, are you going to enjoy them? Can you be around them? All right, that's my first thing. Like, could I actually see being around you 8, 10, 12 hours a day? You're about to be a big part of my life. You're going to be a huge part of my life. am I going to be able to be around you? Am I going to enjoy it? All right, that's the very first thing I think of when I'm hiring people. Like, am I going to enjoy you? Next, again, without getting any characteristics, are they going to be a good fit for the team? Are they going to come in and jack up the culture that we've established? Because again, I don't care how good somebody is if they're a cancer in your culture, not worth it, not worth it, not worth it. All right. So, number one, am I going to enjoy being around them 8, 10, 12 hours a day? 2, are they going to fit the team culture? Are they going to fit the team dynamic? Now for some things I look for. Communication. Communication. All right, communication. Communication's key in our business. You got to be able to talk to people. We're in sales. We're in the people business. You're talking to people every single day. If you have poor communication skills or you're not good at being able to have a conversation, if you can't hold a conversation with me, if you can't hold a conversation with me, all right? So mid-30s, but I also want to make sure you can hold a conversation with like a 50-year-old, a 70-year-old, a 22-year-old. Can you hold conversations with people? Can you have a conversation? Can you talk? Like, communication is key in our business. Communication is key as a sales professional. So when thinking about a sales team and sales staff, you better have a bunch of people on your team that are really good at communicating. Now, here's the other thing, though, is we all know the best salespeople are best at what? At best at what? Asking questions and listening. Asking questions and listening. You feel me on that? Like, you have to be a good listener. You have to be able to ask questions and listen. When you just talk at people, that's not selling. Like, the more people talk to you, the more questions you ask about them, the more they like you. So, characteristic I look at is, are you a good listener? Are you asking questions in the interview process? Are you interesting? Because if you're not interesting, I'm not going to be interested. Discipline. Discipline. It's a characteristic I look for. Discipline. Tell me a little bit about what your daily routine looks like. What's your daily routine? What are you doing to grow personally and professionally? What's your daily routine look like? Do you have any success habits that you do? How about your work ethic? I'm a big believer in work ethic, man. Look, doesn't matter how talented you are. Because if you work hard, that's what I need. Now, I love talented folks, okay? I would love to find that talent, but I can teach talent, but I need you to do something with it. I can teach you how to be the best sales professional in the world, but I need you to do something with it. If you're good at communicating, you're a good listener, and you're willing to learn, you're coachable, I just need you to be disciplined with the process and show up and work. You know? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, is the old saying. So, communication, discipline, work ethic, sense of urgency. Now, this is a really hard one to figure out in the interview process, but you'll learn it very quickly within their first 90 days with you. Do they have a sense of urgency? Okay, do they have a sense of urgency? Those are 4 characteristics I look for. Okay, so communication, discipline, work ethic, and sense of urgency. I'll also say, like, again, this goes back to the discipline process, but development. What are they doing to develop themselves? Because if they're not developing themselves now, what are they going to do to develop themselves with you? And you can change that's a mindset shift. And if you have the right culture, it can help with the mindset shift. But if you have someone totally against like developing and growing, that's not going to be a good salesperson. They're going to get burnt out. They're going to burn out, man. They're going to think they know everything from day one. They're not going to develop. They're not going to be coachable. You're setting yourself up for failure. All right, my friends. I know we covered a lot on this call. I hope this helps. So how to build a sales team. There's a lot that goes into it. Very first starts with your vision. What is the ideal person? What is the job role? What is the description? What personality test am I going to use to test that? Recruiting, obviously the importance of consistent training. Expectations, okay, what are their expectations? How are they going to win? And then obviously we went over the things I look for in salespeople and a sales team. So if y'all liked the episode today, which I hope you did, man, I feel like there's a lot of gold nuggets in here. I feel like there's a lot of fire emojis that should be happening right now in your brain. So if you like the episode, please do us a favor. Give us a 5-star review. It means the world to us over here at the Insurance Buzz. If you haven't already, tell people about it. Please tag us on social. All right, post this on social. Let me know what you learned. Tag me. All right, tag me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. It doesn't matter. I'm all over the place. Tag me. All right. Would love to know what you thought about this episode. And as you all know, time is the most valuable and important asset that we all have. So I appreciate you taking the last 30 minutes and spending it with me today. Now you know what to do. Go out and make it great, my friends. Have a good day.